Hello and welcome. I forgot to turn on my camera.
Yeah, you did.
Hello and welcome to episode. I don't know the episode number. Who am I kidding? Welcome to DCP. Today, it's just the three of us.
It says 357.
It's 357. Isn't that like a prime number or something?
I don't know. That's what it says on Twitch. Has it been updated on Twitch?
I think I did. Yeah. Just a little intimate DCP tonight. Watts.
Threesome.
Watts broke her spine. I think is that what happened?
Something like that. You're probably close.
I can relate. It happens. Mylan, TV, how you guys doing?
Good.
Not bad. Living the dream.
Yeah.
Busy but good.
Yeah. Mylan, we were talking before. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying it's that time of year. If you got kids in school, they've got all the extracurriculars just dogpile at once in the fall. It's like chaos.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Right? Just running kids around.
Yeah.
With all your spare time. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Mylan, we were talking a little bit before the show. You guys, I guess you guys in Australia, you sort of celebrate Halloween. It's like new though, right? It's like sort of new.
Yeah, like I never celebrated Halloween like as a kid, and it depends on like the suburb. Like I don't know whether we'll get any trick-or-treaters this year. Like previous years, you might be lucky if you got one. So we'll see what I'll let you know. What I don't even know what night is on. What night is it?
Last night of October.
What day's Halloween?
Yeah. Last night of October.
Right. Yeah. So it is getting, I guess, more popular because you see a little bit more like decorations and like trick or treat stuff like in the shops where typically you wouldn't see like anything. Now you kind of see like jack-o'-lanterns and skeletons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
do you guys even have pumpkins over there?
No,
pumpkins?
No pumpkins?
I mean, we're aware of pumpkins, but they're guarded by emus, so we often don't.
Off limits.
So you have to offer a trade, a boon of some kind in order to
a soul. Yeah, you have to offer a soul to get a pumpkin. On Halloween. Like I've never done pumpkin carving. I feel like that would be kind of fun.
It is fun.
Oh, we did every year with the kids. Yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah, it is a good
time.
Very
messy. Very fun.
Yeah, then you put it out on your front step and watch it rot.
Injuries.
Yes.
There are a lot of injuries from pumpkin carving, like knife injuries, like carving pumpkins.
They sell plastic knives.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever used safety scissors when you were a kid? They were like plastic scissors.
Your mic's freaking out, by the way.
Yeah.
My mic is?
Your mic's like crackle, crackle, pop, pop.
Oh, great.
It's like an old Rice Krispies commercial.
Lovely. I hope that's not coming through in the recording. I don't know.
We were just complaining about tech issues before we started the podcast.
First it was me, now it's you.
Chat, let me know if my mic is coming through or if it's just Discord for these guys.
You sound okay now.
Okay. Well, that's good.
It wasn't just me, right, Mylan?
No, I heard it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
So do you guys have
the
safety scissors?
Knives or like safety knives?
You have safety knives?
Yeah, I mean safety scissors for kids. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So they sell those for pumpkin carving. But the problem is like they're so flimsy. Well, they're like plastic knives, and they break. Yeah. They're more dangerous than using like a regular sharp knife, which will like if pressed against a pumpkin, will press into and cut the pumpkin. Whereas the plastic knife will bend and snap and then cut your finger off.
Snap.
Yeah. I think there's. So I used to work in hand therapy and like with the therapy after like hand injuries and. The surgeons would always say that like dull knives resulted in more hand injuries than sharp knives, essentially, because that reason.
Because they slip.
The dog.
TV, have you started seeing in stores that they're already doing Christmas music and stuff, like Christmas stuff?
Dude, yeah. My wife was complaining about it today. She's like, I went to get some fall decor for the house. And in that front section of Target, it's all Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they're psychopaths.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Yeah, it's too early. Like, give us a break. Let us enjoy.
It's not right.
Let us enjoy pumpkin spice season.
I love pumpkin. Fall.
Yeah, I love fall too. I think
it's trying to rush it.
Aside from impending winter, it's my favorite day. Or my favorite season. It's like, but it's the same. It's got Sunday syndrome a little bit because Sunday is a great day, but it's a little bit ruined by Monday. Kind of like it's like looming around the corner a little bit. So it's not as fun as Saturday, right? You can't have as much fun on a Sunday as you can on Saturday because you always know Monday is next. And that's how fall feels. It's like fall is would be the best if winter wasn't coming right after.
Sure. Yeah, I feel you on that. And Michigan winters are rough.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Mylan, do you have any holidays over there that we don't celebrate that are kind of fun, like Halloween?
Liberation from Emu Day.
I feel like that's a
false
holiday.
I don't think. What's a super? I mean, Australia doesn't really count because that's obviously going to be Australia. What else do we celebrate that wouldn't be Drop Bear Awareness Day? The long neck week. I mean, in general, I do feel like our holidays. Oh, Melbourne Cup. I mean, Melbourne Cup's a horse race. It's not really a holiday though.
Like our
People
Derby
take
Day?
it off.
Is horse racing a big thing over there?
Melbourne Cup is, yeah.
Does it happen on the weekend?
I wasn't aware.
No, I think it's normally during the week. I remember when I used to lecture at a university, and a bunch of the students were like late for the tutorial, and they had been watching the Melbourne Cup, and I didn't let them into class. Like, nah, you're late now. You don't get to come in. You can't interrupt the whole class if you're late watching the Melbourne Cup.
You were one of those guys.
And I let the rest of the
Yeah, that's what I was just like. Oh man, I would have hated you.
Well, no. You know what I did? I said, because it's a 2-hour tutorial. We'd already done an hour of the class, and I'd rather you just not come. You've missed an hour. You know.
Yeah.
And so I said to everyone else, I'll let you decide, because the people already in the class, I said, I'll let you decide if your colleagues can come in, because I'm going to have to take another, 10 minutes to catch them up to participate. So it's up to you.
So you pitted the classmates against each other and just created chaos and discord within the classmates. That's more fun, actually. Now you say it like that, that is kind of fun.
Yeah. They let them in. But so I mean, our holidays are different,
because that's the thing with the horse races here. Funny hats.
Oh, and special drinks, right?
Yeah, they wear what are they called? The fascinators. Are they called fascinators or whatever? They wear the hats, and I mean, everyone just gets trashed, badly trashed.
Yeah.
And most workplaces will have like it on the TV kind of deal, and you'd have like a fancy lunch or something like that.
Really? At work? They celebrate it at work.
At work.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is getting more criticized, just like horse racing in general, though. I think there's been a little bit more like
fast horses being canceled.
No, I think it's just a treatment sometimes. Like I think you'll get some really poor treatment of animals. I mean, maybe not as I don't know enough about it, but like horse racing maybe is okay, but like dog racing and stuff, there's been a lot of stuff recently, just really bad sort of abuse of animals, and a lot more sort of like attention on that. Yeah.
It's funny how people mistreating animals.
Our holidays are different. Like Christmas is like summer, we go to the beach on Christmas.
Yeah.
We like walk around in board shorts on Christmas. Like that's the big difference with our holidays, is like we don't have a snowy, cold Christmas. Like Christmas is like 30 plus degrees Celsius.
So like when you see media for Christmas, does it often have snow in it, or do you guys have your own like Christmas movies that are based in the summer?
Sometimes we have our own Christmas like ads. Coke was pretty prolific with like Santa Claus like surfing and stuff like that with the Santa hat and those kind of ads. I don't know if I see them that much anymore.
Now I want to watch Australian Christmas ads.
Yeah.
So we had a little news this week. We had a little lore this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to catch up on?
Okay, so TV's only just catching up. What do you know, TV, about the?
Okay, so I'm gonna be like, so I'm getting back. I'm into the Destiny thing, right? I took a little bit of a sabbatical, about 2 months off with a couple of intermittent logins to do. I did like a couple of Crota checkpoints, but so my chat was like catching me up today because I streamed Destiny, and they gave me the rundown on the season, and I'm gonna tell you what I think I know, and then you're gonna tell me how wrong I am. So my understanding is that Amaro used to be an a-hole and he hated us, but we kind of started to patch that rocky relationship a little bit but we kind of did force his hand. He res Savathun, and then we slit her throat, and then we collected all the hoarded sword logic that had been tied to her, and we used it for our benefit, and then we killed the sword logic, and then we let Savathun get revived again and walk off into the sunset, and Amaro is chilling with us as collateral.
Kind of.
How much?
Yeah.
How much of that is accurate?
Yeah, some of it, I'll say maybe 80%. So yeah, we obviously did kill Savathun, and we collected all that energy that was tied to her because no hive had killed her yet. And so this is part of like the tithing system. So Eris Morn for a small portion of time was the most powerful hive alive, and she used that power to sever Ziva Wrath from her throne world.
Oh, the connection to her throne world. That's right. I forgot that.
That's the part you missed. Yeah. So that basically means that Ziva Wrath is, I guess they're describing her as mortal now, that she can be destroyed. It doesn't mean that she's like weakened. It just means that to kill her, we could just find out wherever she's hanging out. Yeah, wherever she's hanging out, we could, if we find her, we can take her out and she'll.
Do we know where
die
she's
properly.
hanging out?
She won't. No, we don't know where she is. No. We didn't really get rid of the sword logic. The sword logic still like persists. We just used it to our advantage by playing into defeating Savathun, which was a nice touch because it's a bit of a callback to the Books of Sorrow where Oryx did the same thing. Like Oryx killed Savathun and Ziva Wrath, and even though they weren't dead, they went to their own throne worlds. It gave Oryx enough power to kill Akka. So it's like Eris is like use a similar strategy, killing Savathun just to gain enough power to separate Ziva from the throne world and go from there.
Is sword logic like a touchable thing, or is it like an ideology?
No, it's like a philosophy.
A philosophy.
Yeah, it's like I've done a video recently about the sword logic and the final shape, casually explained because it's a like convoluted topic essentially, where the Witness orchestrated everything about the Hive's sort of sword logic and how they got to this understanding of the final shape. But the complicated part is the Witness's version of the final shape is different from Ziva Wrath's version of the final shape. So the Witness planted this idea of sword logic and with the worm gods, who then passed it on to the Hive, who then like took on the worms, and then they had to keep feeding the worms. And so the sword logic was kind of like a philosophical thing that suited what they needed. Like they needed to keep killing to feed the worm. It just happened there was like, hey, this is this religion that's like, if you kill stuff, you get stronger and you prove that you're the final part of the universe. And like, well, that's kind of convenient because I've got this worm inside me that needs to be constantly fed. Yeah. So yeah, I explained it better than that in this video. So it originated from that, and it basically is just survival of the fittest. It's if you get killed, you deserve to be killed because you're not part of the final universe. And if you are at the top of if you're at the apex, you're part of the final shape, the final universe, and that is Ziva Wrath's version of the final shape. Is like who is at the pinnacle, who's top dog, and you need to cut away weakness to be there. The Witness's version of the final shape is different.
It's control.
It's been hinted at, and there's been different interpretations of what it is. My interpretation is what's been said in game, which is the Witness wants to turn the game off, wants there to be nothing, wants there to be the end of everything. No light, no dark, no pieces left to play. Turn the game off. That's how you win.
Hold everything in stasis, right? Just keep everything in its place, kind of a thing.
Well, some people theorize that it's about that entropy of the universe, that big freeze or whatever you call it, and there'd be nothing.
So it's really the Witness is like the dad, played by Will Ferrell in the Lego Movie, where his whole thing is
what's super glue everything?
Unleash the Craggle, super glue everything everything perfectly in its place, and he just wants to take it all in while everything is where it's supposed to be. Yeah. There you go.
So the sword logic is still about and still being used, and I think the the way that we'll defeat Xivu was hinted at this season, which was Eris Morn, after separating Xivu from her throne world and being the most powerful hive, then sort of gave up that power. And this is like in direct contrast to the sword logic, because
you don't abdicate power.
Yeah, right. So like this is why Xivu was really upset with Eris in the beginning in Guardians, because we killed Oryx and didn't take his place.
Right.
And if the sword logic was true, we are part of the final shape. We are the strongest. We should have taken that throne. And there's actually a lot of lore this season where Xivu and Eris are quite like are considered like sisters. And because Eris is taking up that hive god pantheon position and sort of feeding into it. And so when she rejected it at the end of the season, that's actually quite a big blow towards Xivu. And it's my prediction for how we're going to defeat Xivu, which will be after final shape. There was some more in-game dialogue post the final week where Ikora's like, yeah, let's defeat the witness first and then we'll take on Xivu. So I'm very positive that Xivu will be in an episode, one of those new episodes post final shape.
Sure.
And I think what will happen is
good.
I think what will happen is we will defeat the witness, right? And then Xivu will be like, see, my version of the final shape is correct. Like, it is about being the strongest. And Guardians have proven they're the strongest. They've defeated the witness again. And then I think Bungie would go down this track now of like the hive version of the final shape. And I think the way that we'll defeat Xivu is similar to what we did to Savathun, where there still obviously needs to be a battle because it's, you know, a video game. But the way we sort of like put Savathun off balance was we discovered the secret about the hive's history, like the worm. We put the worm in the relic and we discovered that it had been lied to. And, you know, Savathun's a god of cunning. And so that sort of threw her off balance, right, to defeat her because we knew this piece of information that she didn't know. And I think we'll do that with Xivu regarding the sword logic. I think we'll disprove the sword logic, shatter her foundations, her belief, and then that will give us enough kind of momentum to
leverage.
Defeat her. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So does Xivu Arath understand what the witness's desire for the final shape is, but she's just going along with the witness for now because it suits her means?
Yeah, I did make a video about the Xivu betraying the witness. I think there's a quote from Imaru saying that when Xivu finds out that they're not aligned, there's going to be trouble. I can't remember off the top of my head where she's at with that. But yeah, I think what you said is probably the best way to go about it. Like, she's kind of going along for the moment, but not quite aware that she's probably like a pawn in the witness's game. Because that's sort of my interpretation, is like the hive's whole history is part of the witness creating the final shape, but they didn't really know that they're part of that system. And Savathun actually teases a bit of that in the radio message this week. She's like, we're playing a chess game. I was a queen and you're the knight, Xivu. And the witness is a king, but he's playing to end the game. The game doesn't end when the knight's defeated or the queen's defeated. The game ends when the king has no more pieces to play or no positions to go. And the witness is trying to end the game. So highlights how the differences in Xivu's sort of goals and the witness's goals. Like, Xivu wants to win, the witness wants to end it.
Right.
Yeah. It's complicated.
Sounds like it.
And it's hard. It's hard. It is hard because I think the whole definition of the final shape has changed over many years, because this is something that was like really quite introduced early into Destiny's lore. In the Books of Sorrow, there's definitely kind of hints of the final shape, and then it has changed as they've developed the witness as a character and where the plot line's going.
Do you think we're gonna be able to just like kill the witness? Like, do you think it's gonna be that easy, or do you think like
no?
Yeah, so I feel like every big bad in this game we go down a similar series of steps. Step 1, recognize your own incapacity to destroy this being. Step 2, talk to the smart people at the tower and workshop some way to circumvent your inability to even do damage. Yeah. So I feel like we're gonna have to find some clever way to. I don't think in our current state or with what we have at our fingertips right now, we're gonna be able to have a chance to destroy the witness. But we're probably gonna have to talk to the smart people, come up with some device. That's the way it usually goes down.
I mean, ideally, I think it would be great for a soft reset by, the witness winning in some way and having to flee to some other place. But I don't think that will happen.
It doesn't seem like it so far.
Sorry if you can hear Leah screaming in the background.
Do you think we'll beat the witness in story, or do you think it'll be in a raid?
I think they're going to do something with the raid because I said they want everyone to participate in the raid somehow, some way.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I think it could be something similar to like an Oryx scenario where there's a mix of campaign and raid.
That Oryx fight was really cool in the campaign. That was a really cool encounter before he flees to his
Rome world.
That was a really good campaign.
The other thing that happened this week, is we actually catching TV up on the finale. Other thing that we actually got another lore entry this week, so completed the lore book called Rites of Passage, and it was Saint 14 getting his revenge. So, like you said, Savathun did get let go, and we kept Imari as collateral. And then Saint 14 stumbles across or intentionally finds Savathun wandering about in her throne world and kills her as revenge for Osiris.
Using him?
Yeah, for using Osiris and for all the trauma that Saint went through when Osiris was in his coma. And Imaru sort of sense that something's happened and turns up, and then basically Saint 14 grabs Imaru and threatens to kill both of them if he doesn't keep reviving Savathun. And so Imaru revives Savathun, and then Saint kills her, and then Imaru revives Savathun, and then Saint kills her, and he just basically uses her as a punching bag until he's got all his rage out, and then he goes home.
Wow. Rough day for Savathun fans.
Yeah. He Void Shield smacks her down the first time, and then Imaru's like, "Yeah, I'm not playing this. Like, you've done enough." And he tries to escape, and then Saint's like, "No, you don't go anywhere, punk," and puts a void dome around them all. It's like, "You keep reviving her until I tell you to stop."
That's hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty hardcore. Yeah. Yep.
Dude,
so that was that actually concludes.
Too? I'm sure Osiris wouldn't have minded. I'm sure Osiris wouldn't have minded getting a couple of hits in as well.
Well, yeah, he didn't even know. The card ends with Saint going home and saying, "Honey, I'm home," and so I was like, "Have a big day." He's like, "Yep."
Yeah, that's pretty good actually.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah, and that concludes the Rites of Passage lore book. So now we've actually got all the lore of this season. We've got the Rites of Passage book has been done, and the Sororicide book is the one you get from the Deck of Whispers, has always been completed as well, because you could just get that at your own leisure. And the story's finished. So we only have some more radio messages and question mark if we're going to get an epilogue before the new season.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
When's the next season? We talked about this last week, but I already forgot. Is it November?
It's quite a while. Next month, right? Yeah. I want to say towards the end of next month.
The end of November?
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure.
Does feel a long way away. I haven't gotten used to the new dates. Ever since they moved the big DLC to February
season,
yeah,
the year after.
The whole COVID year completely disrupted all of gaming schedule, like gaming content release schedules.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I feel like it's just been a free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a Twid.
We did get a Twid. I liked
there,
I liked Hocus Focus. I don't know why. I was like, I like that.
I like that too.
That's good. Whoever came up with that.
Was
that's
Hocus
good.
Pocus a big movie over in the US?
Yeah, there was a movie
Big
called
cult
that.
following. Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus has a big cult following,
Was that
which
with
I didn't
Bette
know.
Midler?
Yeah.
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 And
Yep.
Sarah Jessica Parker, right? Is one of the witches.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think
that
I
her
watched it
name?
a lot as a kid. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit of a plan that called Hocus Focusing. So Festival of the Lost is coming back.
Yeah.
Of course, and they're adding legendary haunted sectors that are going to give you increased chance of eerie engrams. And so they're introducing eerie engrams, which you can do a couple of different things with. One of the things you can do is focus your engrams similar to Raoul with who's a vendor for
Ava,
Spooky Time?
Is it Ava?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
says
you,
right
you
there.
can actually do exotic focusing with these engrams, and I mean, I haven't really had enough time to chat to people yet, but the currency feels pretty good. I mean, you're only going to cost you 1 engram to focus exotic arms, legs, helmet, and chest, and then a bunch of candies. I'm assuming you just get candies dropping
Right.
anytime from just doing activities.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also focus a random Festival of the Lost weapon for 1 engram and 500 candies, and a specific weapon for 1 engram and 1,000 candies. So,
which sounds like the better deal.
Yeah,
500
for sure.
extra. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm assuming candy is going to be pretty plentiful. So, might as well roll a specific weapon you want from the Halloween event. I think maybe chat Kermit. By the looks of it, though, I don't think it's specific exotic roles, or is it? It doesn't say. There's no difference in cost between like a getting any of the exotic arms versus a specific exotic arm
Yeah, it doesn't
role.
seem that way.
They have
Otherwise, would they say specific weapon as opposed to just like? Well,
yeah. They have listed
You would
all
think so.
the exotics that are available and said that you need to have the expansion to get it, but
Yeah.
you actually don't need to have previously had it drop.
Yeah,
so you can
that's
actually
that's the big thing there.
Wow.
yeah.
So
you
you
can
know,
pick
if
up
you
some
haven't
exotics
done
you
the
haven't
lost
got.
sector farming to get your let's say your exotic, like I don't have the new gauntlets for the warlock yet because I haven't been playing. So I just read up about them today. I was like, well, I need to go get those. If I wait for this activity and focus exotic gauntlets, I can just get them that way without having to do legendary lost sector.
Hopefully,
farming.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's dope.
I mean, you will be lost sector farming, but you'll be doing spooky lost sector farming, and
Right.
you know, at least you'll be doing 2 things at once. You'll be doing your Halloween stuff plus your
That's right.
getting your exotics. They have mentioned the weapons, the heavy, the cosmic grenade launcher, the horror story auto rifle, Jurassic Green Pulse, and the Mecha Bay sniper rifle, which I'm assuming would probably be what most PvPers would be going for, right? This like re-rolling the sniper.
Yeah. And aren't ARs kind of slapping right now? Why is
I mean I know I don't know what RPM horror story is, but I know ARs are doing pretty well.
Yeah, horror story is a slow firing. I'm noticing the apparent lack of the werewolf on that list.
Really?
Which is a bummer because the Breaktech werewolf is an exceptionally good auto. So I was a little bummed that one didn't make the list this year for the first time in a few years. But I'm a big fan of the Jurassic Green. So happy to see that come back. And usually last year, the Jurassic Green got a fresh perk pool update, courtesy of Mercules. So hopefully he's been hard at work behind his desk there at Bungie, coming up with some good perk combinations for us again this year.
This definitely feels like a better incentive to play this season of Festival of the Lost than previous years.
Yeah, I mean that's what they said. They wanted to give it more rewards.
Yeah.
So that's why they added this legendary haunted sectors and the eerie engrams, loop. Now I see there's some pretty cool the cosmetics that got voted on, like the bug stuff, but I actually didn't see it written in there. Yeah, the gear looks really cool, but I didn't actually see where it was written. So I'm assuming it's just going to be in the store as the cosmetics you can buy.
Yeah. I don't see where to earn it.
The Festival of the Lost is like the one thing in Destiny every year that I spend money on in the store.
True. Same.
Like, I really don't bite on stuff. I know it's going to become available for Bright Dust eventually, so I don't really worry about it. But the Festival of Lost stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that.
Yeah, Jazz, it's always been the store. Yeah, I honestly just thought there would be a reminder of what. I just thought there'd be like, hey, reminder, the winners for the costumes is this, and you can pick it up in the store. I'm just surprised it just wasn't written in there. That's all.
Those spider legs on the back look fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah. Do they go above his head?
Yeah,
they do, right? It's kind of hard to tell because he's like leaned over in one picture. And
at the time, yeah, Time's good. Time's real good.
It must
that
be
being said, I don't think I've ever worn the other stuff. Yes. The other thing they're adding is this new memento that you can get. That's a black leather look, which will just be a random drop from an eerie engram. So there you go. I don't really use a lot of mementos at all, really. But that one looks pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might be some people chasing that.
For sure.
It does look good.
I look good in black leather too.
I've heard that about you.
There is another update from the PvP strike team, which is nice. You see how many changes and how quick they are to respond to stuff. So it's pretty nice to keep seeing PvP things move forward. Letting people know that they've received the feedback on Checkmate, the mode in Crucible Labs, and they're making some other adjustments to it. Depth of hand cannons will go back to being a 3-tap at any resilience.
Guaranteed
rapid fires with 3 bursts at 6. High impacts, 2 bursts at 4, and reduced heavy ammo spawning. They just want to get it right before they release it into the wild, which is good. However, I haven't been able to play because I literally can't get a game when I'm on. Like when I actually went online during my normal stream time, clicked on Crucible Labs, and I couldn't get a game.
Really?
Was that like
nobody
this week with the 3v3?
This week.
The 3v3, yeah. A little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that probably has a lot to do with your region, yeah?
Yeah, it's just off-peak times in Destiny. PvP is pretty rough in general, to be honest, let alone Crucible Labs. So I'll be keen once it releases into the normal playlists to give it a shot.
Do you think this is going to be its own playlist, or do you think they're just going to add it to another playlist?
Well, it's a modifier. So I think they'll just rotate it right as a modifier. I don't know where it's going to go, actually.
If I had to guess, I would assume it would be, that rotating playlist that right now, this week it's Supremacy, right? 6v6 Supremacy.
Yeah.
Probably go in that slot, wouldn't it?
Just into that. Yeah, I'm assuming so, because I don't think it'll go on their normal control quick play stuff.
So that playlist is one of the ones that like you get one game mode for a week and then it changes to a different game mode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Correctamundo.
Joe was saying that the feedback's been positive and they'll want Checkmate to go to other playlists. Yeah. So I guess we'll see. That being said, there was a Joe Garoth stream. Didn't catch it because it was like 1 a.m. for me. But I heard it was tamer than people thought. Some people were getting timed down banned, but not what you wouldn't expect for a Twitch stream. So
yeah,
I don't know. If you tuned in, let us know. They're also changing some stuff to do with matchmaking to help make matchmaking times quicker. My understanding is they've reduced how many like divisions there are in skill-based matchmaking for the control playlist. So, if you're in whatever division and it's trying to match you with just those people, it's widened it a bit, even though they call it compressing. But that's my understanding of
Interesting.
what they're doing. They want quicker match times for control playlists, and they'll keep that in mind.
So just softening up the SBMM, basically.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's the terminology is confusing because it says we are compressing the skill band used for matchmaking in the control playlist. Then it says think of it as reducing the number of divisions in the skill band. So it's like, you have a bracket and you have all these skill bands in there that's trying to match you to a very specific thing, and it's just kind of wider than that. So I would have thought.
Think about it this way: you have right now, there's 10 different skill levels you could fall into, and then you're matched within those subcategories. Now they're like, let's compress it down. Let's just make it 5 instead of 10. So if you were in the 10 bracket, now you're with 9s and 10s, and you know what I mean? So
yeah.
That should help a bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed right away today playing when I hopped back into Crucible for the first time in months. Immediately, same names I recognized from when I before I left. I was like, oh. Hey guys, I'm back.
I'm back. Yeah, interesting. Spawning, they've said that they tried some different stuff with the spawn systems. They did more systemic changes. Didn't quite work. Now they're going back to the other way of doing more targeted changes, looking at problem maps and problem spawns and specifically targeting those to have a look at it. Overall, I think it's pretty nice to just see these constant changes to PvP and having this strike team, give feedback. And I mean, I'm not a huge PvPer, but I feel like this is in tune with what's been happening, hopefully, for those people who do play PvP and making some good changes.
Is this what we can expect, though, from the strike team? Or are they going to be working on new maps and new modes and stuff, or is it just going to be updating matchmaking settings?
Well, I don't think the strike team specifically. I don't think they have the. I don't think that's their purpose, right? They're not going to be working on maps really because that's not what they do. They're not a map designer or something like that. So I think those two things are going to stay separate, and they'll probably have to collaborate a little bit just to kind of run tests and stuff like that. But
we are expecting more maps in the future. They did say that, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah, they've spoke about they are going to do map packs. And they did talk about the role of the strike team, and I think this is the role of the strike team is trying to quickly keep the health of the PvP sandbox in check, rather than letting stuff get out of hand and spiral and then losing players and this kind of stuff. So this is I think, meant to be a quick pipeline to keeping Crucible healthy.
And is next week when the Antaeus Wards and Omkar Spine nerfs hit?
Yeah, that was I want to say it was next week, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm sure Chad will know.
I'm not too sure as a Titan what you're talking about. I mean, Antaeus Wars is completely fine. I'm just, you need to get better at the game.
I didn't say anything, all right? Yeah, I had a lot of people ask me, they're like, what do you think about this nerf and that nerf and that nerf? Do you think it's warranted? I'm like, listen, my opinion is probably worth very little right now. So ask somebody else.
Got
a hot take on what perks to use
in ship in Starfield.
Yeah, I got hot tips on what perks to use in Starfield right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Chat says
reward people. Oh, nice.
Cool.
To reward people for the crafting, which is when anyone could craft anything with the bug with the relic. And people were crafting all sorts of crazy stuff. They're going to give you an emblem if you logged in between September 15th and September 21. You're going to get an emblem for your troubles and the headache. And it's like an emblem that has all those sort of relic
collage,
symbols on it, all sort of montage together. Yeah.
Looks cool.
And finally,
and then always on time.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Always on time. Thank God. So they're gonna make the speed universal across all sparrows. So always on time isn't just the best sparrow to always use.
Yeah.
I remember going through this headache because I never had it, and I did Grasp of Avarice solo flawless, and that part is an absolute pain. That's always on time. And everyone's like, just use always on time. Just use always on time. Why isn't you using always on time? So that's good. And it also makes it great for raid races and all that kind of stuff. If there's any Sparrow sections, you don't have to worry about having it.
Yeah.
I just always like... I like there's so many sparrows that I love in the game, but I can never use them because you're playing with a group of your other 5 buds in a raid, and you just see them all go flying off ahead of you, and you're like, okay,
yeah.
I guess I'm using always on time.
I want to use the dumbest sparrow, but I can't keep up.
Yeah, that tiny little dinky one.
Yeah.
They're also getting rid of groups, which I don't even know what groups is. But in 2001, groups, then known as chapters, were created to help foster a community. Was anyone around back then making groups?
Is anyone alive then?
This was a Bungie.net feature.
It's just like I assume this is like a community place, like a bit like clans, I guess, but
yeah,
must have predated that kind of stuff, and you can make groups. Anyway, they gave some stats of out of 5.1 million groups that have been created, 65 were active with at least one post in them.
Probably all of them, but with Bungie employees, right?
Like, I want to know who's in those groups.
Yeah,
still using those.
Breaking them down, only 16 were active in the past month. 10 of those had 10 posts in them, and only 3 broke over 100 posts. There are 3 groups out there right now that have done 100 posts, and I want to know who you are, and I want to interview you. I want to know.
I want to know what you're talking about in there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Do you think they're still playing Halo? Because this would be way before Destiny.
Yeah, that's the question. Like, I don't know. That's where they still have like their file share stuff. Remember the file share stuff on the VNet? You're like, oh, I took this really cool picture of my Spartan. I bet everyone on the internet wants to see it.
Oh, absolutely. They do.
On Bungie.net.
That was back before YouTube.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how we used to like with my buds, that's what we would do on the weekends is we would go to Bungie.net and look at the most upvoted game modes that people created and put on their file shares.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys ever do that? There were some great game modes there.
I did remember going there to look at game modes, yeah.
Yeah, one of our favorites, which then they brought back in Halo 5. Was it in Halo 5 they brought it back as a game mode? But somebody created a mode that they called DK mode. And it's basically you spawn at the bottom of a hill, and you have to run up the hill, and if you get to the top, you win. But the catch is that they've got spawners at the top of the hill, constantly dropping like tanks, vehicles, explosive barrels. So you're running up a hill with explosives, and you can get splattered by warthogs falling down. It was just everyone would bring their own 6-pack of beers, and we get all these monitors set up side by side, and we would play this for hours. It's just
those days.
Those were the days.
Have you gone back into Halo Infinite? Have you played Forge and Halo Infinite?
I have not. No,
I haven't either.
It's been a long time since I played Infinite.
Yeah, I played it at launch.
Honestly, there's some good stuff in there now.
Yeah,
like especially if you're on stream and you can get people into your custom games. Like we played Duck Hunt and stuff like that in all the custom modes, and it's pretty fun. I mean, I don't think it'll be very fun unless you can get a group of people together, but if you're in the privileged position of being a streamer, you've got an instant audience, and
that's right.
Yeah, you can get some of that fun happening again.
The internet is sick, don't get me wrong, but there was something amazing about having a bunch of people in the same room gaming together that has been lost for sure. Those days were really fun. LAN parties, even couch co-op or couch, like just sitting on the couch with your buddies and like playing all on one TV. They're so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can even play Jav 4 in Halo. We played Jav 4 in Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
creation of Jav 4 map. Yeah,
nice. Was it pretty accurate?
Well. Yeah, it plays really well. Yeah,
I bet it does. Briar misses that gamer smell. A bunch of dudes in the same room.
You knew how badly your friends were
like,
pissed off by
TVs.
Yeah. Oh God, they were so heavy. You knew how pissed your friends were.
Like, strap it in with the seatbelt so it doesn't fly off.
You knew how pissed your friends were by how hard they hit you in the shoulder after you killed them. It was amazing. It was good times.
Oh yeah.
Is that it, Francois?
Is that it? I think that's the twin twab twob.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
So TV, now are you coming back for like a bit, or are you waiting for the next game? How did it feel to play into stream after being away for 6 weeks?
He's popping off on YouTube. He's out, man. He's got a Starfield channel now. He's fucking surprised he's here today.
Loved having a couple months to just focus on making. I kind of needed it, you know.
Sure.
I needed that. I needed to know that it isn't just Destiny that keeps me afloat. You know what I mean? I needed to know that if I applied myself in other spaces, that I could be successful. And so I did it first on my second channel, my variety channel, which wasn't even partnered at the time, and I covered Remnant 2, and I went hard with it, and that went very well. That channel, I was able to get that channel partnered in like a week, and then pop off and generate good revenue. And that gave me the confidence I needed when Starfield came out. You know, I got early access. I got like a review code 2 weeks before early access. So like by the time early access hit, I already had 100 hours into it, and that gave me a really nice advantage to have some really well, planned out content. And it was just a ton of fun to be able to be excited about making content again. I just felt like I got to the point with Destiny with my YouTube content that if I posted a video that I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into that I thought was fun, creative, exciting, it would get terrible viewership. But if I posted a video talking crap about Bungie, criticizing matchmaking, criticizing lobby balancing, criticizing this, that, those were the videos that did very, very well.
Yeah.
And I hated that. Like, I do not want to come down here in my office and piss and moan about Destiny for a living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just so nice to be able to make some other content that was really fun and creative.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, I definitely missed, interacting with the Destiny side of my community. So it was a really good thing to step back into it today and kind of dip our feet in, do a few hours of streaming Destiny, and definitely enjoyed it.
That's good.
Nice. I mean, I'm in the same spot, like, but without the Starfield or Remnant 2 success. I'm still like, working on how to make different content and,
well, you're doing Lords of the Fallen today, right? Are you going to make any YouTube video about that or content about that? Or are you just
it's always hard because I'm in a spot where I like to play stuff on Twitch, but I feel like for the YouTube, getting the early access and having things lined up and ready to go when a game goes live is advantageous, but I also want to play it live and have my first reactions with an audience too. So I'm kind of stuck between worlds at the moment because I'm enjoying my Twitch streams with variety, but I also want to make content on variety stuff too, but kind of delaying it until I can showcase it on a stream.
There's certainly no end to the content that can be made about Souls-like games, right? It's like you can do lore style, you can do weapons, you can do builds, there's so much you can do with those because they're so deep. Assuming Lords of the Fallen is going to be that deep, I don't really know.
I didn't know that until I got into Remnant, and I was like, holy cow, these games have so much depth to them. And I found that the Souls-like community, I expected them to be a lot more, I don't know if snooty is the right word for it. Like if you're not doing it, like, oh, it's not a clean run. I thought they would be a little bit more elitist, but I was pretty wrong. I mean, you still get those comments, gamers are gamers, but I found that community was really receptive to me being brand new to the genre. They ate up my content. They gave me tips, advice. If I'd post a whole video, and if the entire thing was inaccurate, I would have these really polite comments that are like, hey, I love that you're playing this game, man. You got a lot of good stuff going for you. Just to let you know, this video's wrong, and here's why. And I was like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. So
that's cool.
I love when people who know more than me about something are polite and explain why. I love learning new stuff from folks that are knowledgeable. So I found them to be very receptive.
I feel like the Destiny community has prepared us for every other community. Like, oh, everyone's nice over here. What?
You're not gonna crucify me and eat my children? Wonderful. There's a lot of Deep Rock Galactic chat in chat. Rock and Stone, brother.
I've got a couple of hobbits that freaking love that game.
Yeah. One of my best friends is
I haven't played
obsessed with it. Yeah.
I don't even know what the deal is with it. I've always heard good things.
Space dwarf. You're a space dwarf. And you go mine. You're mining in space. Rock and stone. And there's monsters. They try to eat you.
Nice.
Yeah. It's cool. You can drink beer before you go use heavy equipment.
That does sound like fun, actually.
You can't do that many places.
They encourage it in Deep Rock.
I just got really sad this weekend. I was golfing with some friends, and we went back to his house to sit by a campfire and have a couple beers. And we were driving past this, what used to be a sand pit. And when we were kids, we had all snuck into the sand pit, and they had all these heavy equipment. And we started up with this huge Caterpillar. I don't know what kind of device it was, but it had like the neat on the front and the on the back. And we were playing with it. Yeah. We were playing with it, and we turned it on. And we were like doing all the levers, but we couldn't figure out how to operate anything. We didn't even know how to turn it off. So like we all freaked out, and we ran away, like left it like rolling forward.
Oh no.
Yeah. Come to find out, that place is condos now. And it made me kind of sad.
Yeah.
Every now and then we get a surprise like childhood story from Brian. Devious in some way.
Childhood was fun. Should we do some Twitter questions?
We would do storm drains. There were storm drains near my house that ran to the, the grates on the street on the side where if it's raining, they trickle down into the grates.
Yeah.
Where Pennywise eats your children.
Yeah.
So the storm drain water would empty out into the river. So we'd go to the entrance at the river, and we would get flashlights, and we'd go spelunking through.
Oh
these
no!
tunnels, and we would get all the way back up to So we mapped out the grid underneath the city.
You were Pennywise.
We made a game of it. We would get to manholes, and we would literally, it was like a game we would play where we would sit there, we'd peek out till we saw a car was coming down the street, and then we'd stand up, and then put it back down, and you hear the cars freaking out. Yeah. And we bolt. Oh man, being a kid was something else.
Yeah.
God, I have a heart attack if Leo did that. Jesus Christ.
So just driving down the road, this kid just pops out of a manhole.
Yeah, you guys all wear clown suits?
No, we didn't go that far.
Should we do some Twitter questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what we got on Twitter?
All right. This Week in Video Games says, what do you think next season's story will be as we head into the final shape? Do we have any incomplete story threads we want to see before the finale?
Oh, I mean, I think we got to come back to the Vex at some point. It's a good question because I think it's going to be Awoken, and maybe even there's been a couple of hints about Kara again.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah, there's been stuff about Marasov, and there was a dialogue about Riven again, like just after this season finished, like just in game and in one of the activities. But I don't know. I don't know where else we got to go now. I mean, there's plenty of unresolved storylines in Destiny, but they haven't really hinted at what the next season is going to be about yet.
I feel like the lack of Vex content lately has been pretty telling about what we'll see kind of after the final shape. I think you predicted that, right, Marlon? That we're definitely going to have a major
I'm
Vex
thinking
thing.
The Vex are probably the big storyline after final shape, but then again, episodes might change that where it doesn't really need to fit so nicely into the whole universe. I can tell these bubbles of a story that are a little bit separate, right? So I'm still feeling like the Vex are probably the least developed element in Destiny right now. And we could go in that direction, but I haven't really seen a lot of hints to what else might come about either.
What happens with the Cabal when we resolve the conflict with the Witness? Isn't Tora Bottle kind of laid waste?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do they go?
Got all
Do they
destroyed.
do they chill with us?
Well, yeah, they've been chilling with us. The one that
I know, but
the
are they
Carl's
moving in? They've been parked in our backyard for a while, but are they moving
Oh,
in?
you're right. Are we going to give them?
Like, are we going to give them a
rental
drawer?
space, a villa?
Are they going to get
That's
their own
right.
underwear jar?
They get a drawer.
That's right.
I don't
It's
get
their
it. They got to live on
toothbrush.
their. Yeah, they got to live on their ship still. Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I don't know. I feel like they've just been allies, but we haven't given them a space to live.
We gave the Elixir their own quarter of the city.
We still kill millions of them a day. Don't forget.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
killing you people is fun. We got a place you can move into over here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's a good question. I am interested to see where they go. Like, I did enjoy this season, even though I didn't actually play a lot, but I thought narratively it was a good season and I had a good time with it. I've just been playing a lot of variety, but that being said, I don't know what the next season is going to hold. How many seasons do we have until Final Shape? Is it
just the one, right?
It's just the one.
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one. So it's got to set up Final Shape. Maybe it can be the Vex. So it's all got to link together because I said that these seasons have been the most connected since that they've done before.
What if the whole season is just
maybe it'd be like Vex and Veil stuff?
What if the whole season is just bad shit happening to us? Like the Witness just does one bad thing after another, and it just gets more and more hopeless in the lead up to the Final Shape.
Crush our spirit. We're used to it.
I don't think the Witness is going to do it. We got to try get through the portal to follow the Witness. So it's got to be.
We already know how to do that.
Well, actually, that's what this season needs to be. We didn't talk about that. Like Savathun. Yeah, the whole point of the season was to revive Savathun to get the answer to go for the portal, right?
Yeah, she told us we already know how to get through.
And she just said, you already know.
Right.
Get good. And then didn't tell us what it was.
I trust her. Don't you trust her?
I mean, next season has to be answering
Isn't she like the queen of lies, though, too?
Yeah. So we gotta do something to get through the portal. And apparently we already know what that something is.
Wife coming through my mic?
guess of
I feel like I see my mic lighting up. My wife's gaming. Sorry if you can hear.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. What's she playing?
Let me pull up Steam and see what she's doing. House Flipper.
Oh.
House Flipper.
Yeah. I actually have an idea for a really fun series I want to do, like for Starfield. I have no eye for design at all. So I've got all these really ritzy homes in Starfield now. So I'm gonna do my wife flipped my house in Starfield and have her
fix it up.
Furnish and fix up my homes in Starfield. Yeah.
Casper J says, this is for Mylan. They call Saint 14 the strongest Titan. Does it say anywhere in the lore that our Guardian is more powerful than him and all of the other main characters in the game? I've always wondered if the main characters consider us to be the strongest.
In the lore, I would say that our Guardian is not necessarily the strongest. Before Osiris lost his light, I think he was considered one of the strongest warlocks, and he would do all three supers, back to back during combat. It's hard to tell what's video game stuff and what's accurate lore stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, our Guardian is the most accomplished because we've been involved with every single conflict ever.
Yeah.
Well, not ever, but been at the on the war front for everything. But typically you'd probably say that the Vanguard pretty powerful, and the masters and the teachers of Guardians. So I don't know where the Guardian sits in that.
That's a good question, though.
Redneck Hippie says, "What do you think of the It's hard. Doesn't it kind of hard for the lore to because we're all kind of the main character, like so it's got to be hard to like specify in the lore,
right?
Because as the player,
everyone,
like I'm the main character, but you're the main character too because you're playing the game, right? It's like
yeah, that's just the video game aspect. Like
Yeah.
you, the player, are the guardian in the lore. You're the guardian,
right.
Who's referred to as that. Yeah.
Redneck Hippie says, "What do you think of the exotic mission rotators? Do you think think it should be a bit more farmable, or do you think it is good where it is? I personally need my mini tool and don't like having to run take 20 to 25 minutes." Oh, so you're just trying to farm it? Yeah. That's a long time to farm
I haven't
something.
done the exotic mission rotators because I've always did them on release and haven't needed to go back and do them. Same. I was just probably more upset when they got rid of them because I thought they were really good content, and if you're new to the game, they're a good part of the game. So I don't have a huge opinion on them how they are now, but I'm glad that they're there for new players, but I'm not too sure what it's like to farm them.
Yeah. The variant says, were you Team Spider or Team Beetle for the Halloween armor? I personally was Team Beetle for all classes. I don't remember.
I think I chose Spider. I think Australian. You gotta be spiders.
If those add up.
I went Beetle. But I think they all look great.
Yeah. I think I went Beetle, actually.
Bug.
I'm having trouble remembering what Team Spider looked like. I'm sure it looked cool, though. It's hard to choose. Usually I like 2 of one and then the other one of the other armor. You know what I mean? Like,
well, didn't they end up mixing and matching this time, though?
Did they?
Isn't Warlock Beetle looking? Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
Oh, yeah.
And the Titan's got the spider legs at the back. I thought it was sort of a mashup. The monster mash.
See, that's why I was thinking of like a bit of a summary of like that in the TWABs. Like, hey, this is what you voted on. This is what won.
Grim Invictus, Hive God of Lore says, "Do y'all think we'll ever learn exactly what happened during the collapse? We know Nezarec led the assault, but we still don't know what kind of assault it was. There have been hints that the Hive attacked Earth, but Bungie has never stated what went down in detail." They're probably leaving that
game.
Yeah, they're probably leaving that open-ended.
Yeah, that's gonna be the TV series of the collapse.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You finally get to see the Guardian's butt.
Yeah, we don't really know. The only description is Cade 6's description. Yeah, so I don't know if they'll go into details. I feel like that's might be one of the areas of Destiny that's just left kind of untouched. Just know that the bad stuff happened, because I think it would be you gotta try to like retrofit it into all this current lore, right?
I mean, let's be real, but Bungie's done it before where there was a catastrophic fallout in the lore, and they were like, we're saving that for a game called The Fall of Reach. And to a certain extent, ODST had some of that as narrative as well. So you can always go back and make a game on the collapse, or like Briar's saying, anime or whatever.
I think the episodes that they do after Final Shape would be a perfect medium to do like flashback stories, and like have an episode about the collapse. And and maybe
how would that work with your Guardian?
Yeah, I don't know. You go through a time simulation.
Memory
take your Guardian through the infinite forest kind of deal. You get knowledge about the collapse. You'd use the relic. You open a time ripple and fight at the 6 fronts. Or see the collapse or one of the like historic events maybe.
Rex says, from last week, if you had your own scented scratch and sniff stickers, what would they smell like? Oh, like, so they smell like you? Whiskey?
Bourbon.
I mean,
Mylans would smell like a kangaroo pouch.
Yeah, kangaroo pouch, chlamydia koala,
Excuse me, what?
eucalyptus.
Oh, TV. Do you not know that most koalas have chlamydia?
Koalas have chlamydia.
They got that clap?
Yeah.
They got
Very
the clap.
common.
Yeah.
Is it all koalas or like 90%?
I think it's a lot. Yeah, I think it's a lot.
Even
like
the
most.
versions?
I don't know how it's transmitted in koalas, but it's they got it.
I would be a celibate koala.
That doesn't sound like much fun.
Most. Notice.
I think I would smell like burgers. I don't use deodorant unless I'm leaving the house, so I might smell a little bit like BO right now. Who knows? Could be happening.
Do you use antiperspirant?
Not really. No.
Dude, my office gets warm. If I didn't put on
You don't use deodorant?
Not if I'm not leaving the house.
Nasty.
I don't find that I sweat when I'm just sitting around.
You got good climate control.
I don't believe you.
Okay. I said I might smell a little bit like BO.
Yeah.
The office does get hot when like the computers are running and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rex said, I'm sorry. CJ Este says, it's refreshing to see at Bungie address PvP so often now. How do you guys feel about what PvP Strike Team is doing? Is this a turn for the better or?
The more regular this is, the better it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Any change is a change for the better at this point. I mean, it was, 2 years of just silence?
Yeah, we got sandbox updates every now and then. But having them have their finger on the pulse in real time and to have the support they need to address those things quickly helps to alleviate major pain points because this game is so complex at this point. And we've seen this with the crafting. One thing goes wrong and it can screw up the entire ecosystem. So the fact that they have the means right now to address those things in real time is definitely going to be setting a great precedent for the future of PvP.
Gareth Evans says, pick your poison, literally. Crunchy peanut butter and jelly sandwich or ham and pineapple pizza. You have to pick one. You're not allowed to not answer. Not answering will get you a demerit, which means bad things will happen to you.
I prefer crunchy peanut butter. I love crunchy peanut butter. So that's easy. Easy pick.
I prefer smooth, but I like ham and pineapple. Hawaiian pizza's fine.
Yeah, Hawaiian pizza's delicious. My question to you, Gareth, if that is your real name, why would you make somebody eat something they didn't like? What happened to you? Look inside first before you look outside, I'd say. Something is broken.
There.
Kuba Buzanowski says, which would you choose?
Name again?
I nailed it. Buzanowski. Which would you choose if you had to 1, run solo flawless tier 3 altars of summoning, or 2, 24-hour gambit marathon, or 3, speed run of consuming? First of all, Kuba.
Gotcha. He gotcha.
Why don't you look on the inside, Kuba? Why do you want to hurt people? Hurt people, Kuba.
Tier 3 altars of summoning's easy.
Yeah,
it's easy. Be a titan with a sword with banner. You're done.
Well, you're just gonna run out of time though, right? Tier 3, because you got to collect all the things and stop the other things from getting to the things. Okay, I want you to show me.
I've made a YouTube short, got 50,000 views on
it. Let's just check.
I did. Lament. Lament, the Banner of War, Strand, Titan, easy game, easy clap, unkillable.
The Mohegan 9 says, in a 100-yard dash, who on DCP would win without hurting themselves?
Lego.
I would win.
Lego would definitely win. Yeah,
maybe Lego.
Let's be real.
It
Lego's
looks like he can run.
He does look like he can run.
Lego makes me angry because he's like, oh, you just look like the perfect male. Great.
And he's young.
I have to compete against this.
And he's nice.
Yeah.
He's young, he's handsome, he's nice, he's talented. Yeah.
He's creative.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Yep. Makes good YouTube videos.
What a real
Fuck
piece
him.
of
Let it.
What a jerk. What a jerk. He's young.
He's on the
looking.
podcast. He's gonna have some negativity in life.
Look at that guy.
He's fast, apparently.
Lego lay fast.
I think the key word in there is without getting injured, because I've pulled my hamstring before, and I definitely would tear a hamstring now doing a 100-meter dash. It would pop.
I cramp running.
Do you?
I stopped doing treadmill because of it. I do the stair machine now, and I like that a lot more.
Oh, you don't cramp through the stair machine?
No.
That's funny. And I wonder why.
I don't know. My body don't work right. That's why. I'm old.
Well, it's not going to get any better. Hate to tell you.
I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah. Animalistic says, what do you think about Checkmate Survival?
I haven't played Checkmate yet.
I haven't done it. Couldn't get a match.
Yeah. Check back with us next week.
I wanted to try Checkmate this week, but I saw that it was 3v3, and I was like, I'm not about to hop into 3v3 right now. So, yeah.
V4V's best cheerleader says, are the Bluey episodes Australians worth getting a VPN for? What the heck is this talking about?
She's talking about how the greatest TV show for kids right now is an Australian show called Bluey, which was unfortunately bought by Disney. But Australia gets new episodes first, and we have to wait months for them.
Oh.
So if we had a VPN, we could view them when they are released.
Yeah. I haven't watched Bluey yet because Leo's still a bit young, but I only ever hear great things about Bluey. And yeah, I guess if you get a VPN, you could just watch it for free on I'm pretty sure we get it on ABC. You could just watch it on ABC, right? And watch Bluey.
My daughter sleeps with a stuffed Bluey every night.
Is Bluey an animal?
Bluey's little sister, Bingo. Yeah, it's a family of blue healers.
Dogs. Oh, yeah, blue healers. The working dog, sheep and dog. Well, one's a red healer, right? One's a blue healer, one's a red healer.
Yep, the mom chili's red. Yeah. And then all the other characters are just different breeds of dogs. Yeah. It's a freaking great show.
Blandy McBlanderson writes in with an update to last week's question. He asked, what was the question here? Oh, okay. 5 flavors of Oreo, 4 of which are real and 1 is fake. The options were wasabi, Chardonnay Dream, waffles and syrup, kettle corn, and hot chicken wings. I think. Say,
you good?
Go. No, you go. Because we guessed last week.
I was gonna guess Chardonnay is not a real one because I feel like an alcohol flavored Oreo is contrary to their family vibe.
That's exactly what Blue Westlow said last week.
Blue said.
Yeah, and we all agreed with him, and it turns out he was right. We figured that if he was wrong, we could blame it on him.
Yeah.
Which is fair, I think.
So that's what
he was right, so everybody wins.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Blady McBlanderson says, I almost had you last week, but Blue saved you. The fake Oreo flavor was Chardonnay Dream. This week I have 4 real and 1 fake plant names. Can you guess the fake? Number 1 is Harry Pigweed. 2 is Obi-Wan Kenobia. 3 is Hooker's Lips. 4 is Turkey Tangle Frog Fruit. And 5 is Queen's Merkin. You want me to read those again?
I mean, the Obi-Wan can't be real, sure.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's so ridiculous that it has to be real, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Harry Pigweed. Hooker's Lips can't be real, right? Like what would that?
Yeah, no, there'll be some like old school name, something called Hooker's Lips.
Turkey Tangle Frog Fruit.
I like how that one rolls off the tongue.
It sounds delicious too. Tastes like turkey and cranberry.
We can vote for different stuff, right? I'm gonna vote for the Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. You think that's the right one, or that's the fake one?
No, the fake one, right?
Yeah.
I'm voting with the turkey tangle just because I like saying it.
I'll go with Hooker's Lips.
Okay, one of us will be right, hopefully.
Maybe.
That's it. That was all the questions in the Destiny universe this week. Kind of a light week. I think maybe because we were a little early this week. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, a little quick episode this week, I guess.
Wasn't another. Yeah, there wasn't an extra not a twid, whatever you call it, a weekly update, right?
Update thing.
Right.
Yeah, just had the Twib 12, and now we finished the story. You know, if we weren't catching up TV, like we've kind of done on the story, so we're in a
thanks for filling me in.
Holding pattern until new season.
Yeah. Good time to get some old stuff done. I'm working on the Festival of the Lost. Getting some of those exotics rolls that you're looking for.
I always like Festival of the Lost.
Aesthetically, I think. Well, I don't know. The Christmas one is pretty good too. Aesthetically, both of them are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I like the spooky vibes.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Love y'all.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful and safe weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.